Experts predict more frequent sightings of the northern lights in unusual locations, as strong solar storms this year have caused auroras to appear much farther south than usual.
올해 강력한 태양 자기폭풍의 영향으로 오로라가 평소보다 훨씬 남쪽에 나타남에 따라 전문가들은 앞으로 의외의 지역에서 오로라가 관찰되는 일이 더 많아질 것으로 예상했습니다. Alright, so in Korean we say aurora, but in
Yes.
English it's aurora.
That's right. Aurora, the emphasis is on the second syllable. Now, Sue, did you know that the sun has a cycle?
Well, yes, but let's
'cause-
just say I didn't.
Well, okay. All right, smarty pants. Yeah. For those who didn't know, like the Earth has a cycle.
Yes.
We have 365 days in a year. We have 12 months where we go round and then we come back to the beginning.
Yeah.
The sun has an 11-year cycle. And we're at the peak of that at the moment. We don't know how long it's going to last. It was meant to last at least a year, but we can't be sure. But what we do have at the moment are these incredible auroras. So these are the multicolored lights in the sky at night. We don't get them in Korea. I don't think Korea's ever got them. But if
I
you
hope.
yeah, well, be careful what you wish for, Sue. If you live in a northern region, that's where you're more likely to see them. But we've seen them further south than usual. For example, in the UK, you normally don't see them. You don't see the Northern Lights, but they've been seen there. They've been seen in Germany, in the US, in New England, in New York City. So this is all thanks to this big solar storm. It's the strongest we've had in 2 decades. And, well, it means that we've got these beautiful lights in the sky.
I would love to go and see the Northern Lights someday, somewhere. But maybe in Korea one day we'll be able to see them here.
I don't know. Something pretty weird is going to happen to the sun or the earth for that to happen soon.
Yeah, we are way further down south than the other places that you mentioned there. But yeah, nonetheless, auroras, Northern Lights, they're sort of slightly becoming southern.
Yeah, well, they're more easily seen in southerly areas.
All right. Now, these are called sightings.
Yes.
Have a look at that word.
A sighting is when you see something, and it's not just going to be your neighbor or your neighbor's dog. It's going to be something perhaps unexpected or unusual or difficult to see. So, for example, we'll talk of sightings of rare birds.
Yeah.
Or this time of year, sightings of migrating birds as they come into Korea. Yeah, so it's something that we suddenly see, and it's worth noting.
Yep.
It's worth talking about.
Absolutely. 자, sightings. S 많이 붙여요. 왜냐하면은 한 번이 아니라 여러 번 목격하는 거기 때문에. 그래서 이게 명사고요. sightings 그러면은 이런 것의 목격담이 될 수도 있고 보는 것이라는 뜻이 됩니다. 물론 단수로도 쓸 수 있죠. 딱 한 번 봤으면은. 여기서는 sightings of the northern lights라고 했어요. 그래서 평소 우리가 생각하는 오로라를 볼 수 있는 지역이 아닌 곳에서 목격담이 많이 나오고 있습니다. What about the solar storm that's mentioned here?
When I was a kid, I thought the sun was a smooth ball with rays coming out of it. And as I get older and science got better, I saw footage of basically a stormy surface. If you've ever seen closer up footage, or as close as we can get of the sun,
Right.
it's like a whirling, swirling mass. It's not just a smooth ball. And it does have these storms, which is where you have flares of solar energy coming out, and they're so strong that they impact not just the sun and its surrounding area, but us too.
Yeah, definitely. Solar storm은 태양 폭풍인데요. solar라는 단어가 들어가면 태양과 관련된 거죠. 그래서 우리가 평소에 쓰고 있는 달력이 solar calendar이죠. 근데 이제 음력 그 원력 같은 경우에는 영어로 lunar calendar라고 해서 달과 관련된 건 lunar, 해와 관련된 건 solar.
Yeah, so some people outside their window on their roof might have solar panels
Yeah,
for collecting the energy from the sun.
solar panels. 그 태양전지 판을 말하죠. 그리고 또 태양계 하면은 solar system. All right. Well, here it is again. Experts predict more frequent sightings of the northern lights in unusual locations as strong solar storms this year have caused auroras to appear much farther south than usual. Here's our next headline.
Butter prices in Europe have soared in recent months, spelling bad news for bakers and pastry makers preparing for Christmas, who are already dealing with high chocolate and sugar costs.
최근 몇 달 동안 유럽의 버터 가격이 급등하면서 연말 대목을 앞두고 이미 높은 초콜릿과 설탕 비용을 감당하고 있는 제빵업체의 부담이 가중되고 있습니다. Tell us more.
I blame the cheese. Which is actually one of the major reasons, because those who are using and buying dairy products, buying the milk, they're using them for making cheese because it's more profitable.
So butter goes in cheese.
Well, milk goes in cheese
milk goes in
and milk
cheese,
goes
sorry.
in butter. We make
Okay.
both things
Got
from
it.
milk.
Got it.
Yes. So because cheese makers and related manufacturers are buying up more milk, that means the price has gone up. Up 83% on year, which is a huge amount, almost double. So it's $8,706 per metric ton. We also have the issue, not just in Europe, but in Australia, New Zealand, prices were very high over the summer.
Right.
They're coming down a little bit. And with Christmas coming up, that's a very important time for butter because everybody's making butter cakes and butter cookies.
Absolutely.
And buttery gingerbread men. But, it's going to be more expensive, and that means prices will rise, not just in Europe, but also for those of us who import goods from Europe, we may see prices rising as well. So we have had more global milk production this year, but we need more to keep up with the amount of butter and cheese everybody wants to eat.
네, 치즈를 많이 만들다 보니까 우유는 국한되어 있고 그래서 이제 버터를 만드는데 들어갈 우유가 모자르고 그래서 버터 가격이 좀 오르는 현상을 보이고 있어요. 그런데 서양의 대명절이 지금 다가오고 있죠. 네, 바로 크리스마스입니다. 서양에선 크리스마스가 가족들끼리 다 모이는 명절이에요. 우리의 설, 추석 이런 거랑 비슷하다고 생각하시면 돼요. 그러니까 크리스마스 때 우리는 이제 제사상에 올라가는 여러 가지 음식을 만들듯이 서양에서는 크리스마스 푸드를 만들어야 돼요. 거기에 버터가 엄청 들어가거든요.
Well, especially the desserts. And
그렇죠.
desserts are
네.
very popular at Christmas time.
네. What do you normally have at Christmas apart from the desserts?
Oh, well, in our family, it was always a roast turkey. So we'd have a roast turkey with all the trimmings, and the trimmings are the sides,
Yeah.
which would be roast potatoes, roast carrots, boiled boiled Brussels sprouts, boiled cabbage, boiled anything,
Yeah.
gravy, Yorkshire pudding, cranberry sauce or red currant sauce
Yeah.
or mint sauce if you're having lamb,
Love
and then you have a Christmas pudding that you set on fire.
맞아요. 이렇게 서양의 명절인 이 크리스마스 때는 뭐 치킨이나 터키나 이런 이제 큰 poultry 가금류 보통 닭이나 칠면조가 제일 일반적으로 많이 먹는 것 같아요.
Traditionally was goose. Goose, originally
거의.
goose and duck were the ones used, but then turkey became popular because they
Okay.
were much bigger and cheaper. But people also do ham, lamb, beef, basically anything you can cook in the oven.
네, 그래서 이렇게 육류를 메인으로 해서 그 다음에 이제 여러 가지 채소도 같이 곁들이고 그 다음에 디저트까지 준비를 많이 해요. 가족들이 많이 모이기 때문에 대량으로 준비를 한단 말이죠. 근데 이제 버터가 꼭 필요한데 특히 디저트 만들 때 버터 가격이 많이 오르고 있어서 지금 이게 상당히 어떻게 보면은 좀 걱정거리일 수 있겠어요. 서양에서는. 자, this spells bad news. Let's look at this expression.
Yeah, if something spells bad news, it's giving us bad news. It's telling us that things are going to get worse,
Yeah.
that the situation is going to get worse. So it's like someone's spelling out BADNEWS. What? Bad news? It's coming. It's coming. So it can spell good news, you can spell bad news, but the point is we get this information and it tells us that either something bad or something good will happen.
네. 여러분, 우리 공부할 때 철자, 스펠링 우리 이제 집중해서 보게 되잖아요. 근데 이 스펠이라는 게 비유적으로 아주 많이 쓰이는 표현이에요.
So many meanings.
네, 그래서 단순히 철자의 의미를 갖는 게 아니라 여기서처럼 안 좋은 소식을 의미한다. This spells bad news. 좋은 소식을 의미한다. This spells good news.
Yeah.
이럴 수도 있고요. 또 이렇게도 씁니다. Do I have to spell that out for you? 내가 이걸 하나하나 다 설명을 해야겠니? 라는 뜻으로 Do I have to spell it out for you? 이렇게 말할 수도 있어요.
Yeah,
굉장히 재밌는 표현이에요.
We've talked about spell for quite a spell now.
That's a different spell. A dry spell, a rainy spell 할 때는 이제 한동안 날씨가 어떻다 하는 명사인데요. 그건 좀 다르고요. 지금 말하고 있는 spell이라는 동사 이런 것을 의미한다. 좋은 결과, 나쁜 결과를 의미한다. It spells good news or bad news. 자, 다음 표현 deal with something.
Sue has to deal with me once a week. She's not used to dealing with me on a Thursday, meaning she has to handle me. She has to put up with me. She has to combat me. She has to somehow survive me.
Yes, I do.
So when we deal with something, it's something that is problematic, troublesome, difficult. But we have to find a way to fix it or to get over it or to get around it.
네, 무언가를 다루거나 처리할 때 deal with something이라고 합니다. 실제로 이런 말을 할 수가 있겠어요. Deal with it. 그거 처리해. 아니면 그거를 잘 다스려봐. 이런 의미가 될 수 있겠죠.
It's not a nice thing to say
No.
though, to someone. It's like saying you put up with it.
이게 어떤 상황에서 쓸 수 있는 거냐면은 아주 친한 친구나 가족 구성원이 네가 알아서 해결해 라는 의미로 약간 조언인데 조금 무서운 분위기도 좀 있어요.
Yeah, but
Deal with it.
But if we use it for ourselves, don't worry, Sue. I'll deal with it.
I'll deal with it. 내가 알아서 할게. 이렇게도 쓸 수 있겠고.
Yeah, I always deal with the explanations.
You do deal with the explanations. 자, 그래서 어떤 문제 같은 걸 처리한다라는 느낌입니다. Deal with something. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Butter prices in Europe have soared in recent months, spelling bad news for bakers and pastry makers preparing for Christmas who are already dealing with high chocolate and sugar costs. Now here's our final headline.
At 23, Adriana Brownlee has become the youngest woman to climb all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter plus peaks, 3 years after reaching the summit of Mount Everest.
에드리아나 브라운리가 에베레스트 산 정상에 오른 지 3년 만에 23세의 나이로 8,000m급 고봉 14좌 완등에 성공해 이 부문 최연소 여성으로 기록됐습니다. Oh my goodness.
This is incredible.
It is.
She finished on October 9th. She reached the summit of Shishapangma, which is 8,027 meters high. She's only the second Brit to do it. It's quite incredible. The first Brit was in 2005, Alan Hinks. And there's less than 100 people that have done this 14-peak climb.
Yeah, do we know the 14 peaks?
You're going to make me say them all? Okay, there's Everest, there's K2, there's Kangjenjunga, there's Lhotse, there's Makalu, there's Cho'uyu, there's Dhaulagiri 1, there's Manaslu, there's Nanga Parbat, there's Annapurna 1, there's Gasherbrum 1, there's Broad Peak, there's Gasherbrum 2, and there's Shishapangma.
Thank you so much.
Is this some sort of Boksununai mountain?
복수는 나의 산? 네. 이렇게 그 14좌가 뭔지 하나하나 다 이름을 불러주셨는데, 대단하네요. 23세의 나이로 최연소 여성으로 이제 기록이 되고 있다고 합니다.
What's even more impressive, though, this last climb, 8,000 meters, she did it without extra oxygen. No oxygen tank, no extra breathing apparatus. She did it by herself.
It's quite thin up there, isn't it?
Whenever
it's
you
quite
go up
hard to
mountains,
breathe.
it's difficult to breathe, so people
Yeah.
often use oxygen.
Okay. Let's look at some words then. The peak.
Yes, spelt P-E-A-K, not P-E-E-K, because P-E-E-K means to take a little look or a secret look.
Yep.
Peak is the top of something, and it's often a pointy top. So we
Yes.
use it for mountains. We use it when you whip eggs to make meringue. You have the peak of the meringue or the peak of the whipped cream, but it basically means the very top of it.
네. 산 정상이라는 뜻으로 여기선 썼고요. 무언가의 꼭대기라는 뜻입니다. P-E-A-K.
Also, Sue, I like to think I'm at my peak.
네, yes. Yes.
Meaning
sure.
I'm at the top of my game. I'm
그래요.
the best I'm ever going to be. I'm the youngest I'm ever going to be. Oh no, Sue, this is terrible.
내 인생의 지금 절정에 다다랐어 라고 선생님이 지금 얘기해 주시는 그런 의미의 peak가 되겠고요. 그 다음에 reach the summit.
Yes, a politician will reach the summit means they go to the big meeting with all the other politicians. But summit here, again, means the peak, means the top of the mountain, the official place that says you've climbed all the way to the top.
자, 여기서 역시 서미트도 아까 피크처럼 산 정상이라는 의미가 있죠. 서미트는 그야말로 정상이라는 의미로 우리가 정상회담을 할 때도 summit meeting이라고 하고요. 그 다음에 산 정상 mountain summit, the summit of a mountain 이렇게 표현을 할 수 있는데 reaching the summit니까 그 산 정상에 도달하는 겁니다.
You know, there's a summit at Christmas.
Oh?
We eat some meat.
Wait, what?
We eat some meat.
Oh, we eat some meat. Oh, my goodness. Here's the headline again.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry.
At 23, Adriana Brownlee has become the youngest woman to climb all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter plus peaks, 3 years after reaching the summit of Mount Everest. 한 가지 더 말씀을 드리자면은 미터의 스펠링이요. 미국에서는 끝에 ER로 쓰지만 영연방 국가들은 끝에 RE로 씁니다. 그래서 둘 다 스펠링은 맞습니다.
You'll find that a lot. Theatre, for example, spelt differently in the US and the UK.
That's right. Well, those were our headlines today with Paul Matthews.